Some meditation practices like Qigong, Tai Chi, are yoga about integrating with the body, and then of course meditations of inquiry or visioning, where we're looking for specific providential guidance. In this, we will be allowing ourselves to just relax and move into the stillness. I'll be centering us. We'll stay in the stillness for a little bit, and then we'll come out in a wave of prayer. And just as a reminder to make sure all cellular devices are in do not disturb or off. And the rest is going to be self-explanatory. There are the intentions that are built into all the aforementioned meditation practices. And then there's the intention you bring to the meditation practice, whatever that may be. You may be looking for providence in an area of life. You may be opening to directioning in a relationship or any other part. You may be opening to just bathing in your own soulful vibration. Whatever your intention may be, there's also the intentions I'm just going to offer. And those are that this be the most delicious, most beautiful, most relaxing, most peace-infused, best meditation experience ever, and that you allow yourself to be undistracted. Nothing will bother us. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and we're going to move into the meditation zone. If you want to do this as an open-eyed meditation, you're welcome to. Just focus on one spot. Don't let your eyes wander, otherwise your mind will wander. Otherwise, as about 90% of us are going to do, we're going to close these eyes, open this eye, and just relax. We are now ready to begin. And as always, we begin by first giving ourselves permission to relax. Just saying to ourselves in our minds, I give myself permission to relax. As we invite, as we evoke, and as we allow the divine energies, the eternal frequencies of love, peace, goodness, joy, serenity, tranquility to wash over us and to rise up from within us, knowing we have no place to go. There is nothing to do except completely surrender into the deepest states of rejuvenation, revelation, and relaxation. I invite you, without changing anything, just observing and becoming aware of your breath and your breathing. Feel that soft, cool, tingling sensation as you inhale, whether it's through your mouth or through your nose, as the oxygen in the air makes its way and begins to flood your lungs. And solely through intention, no efforting, allow the breath, our breathing, to become fuller, wider, deeper and fresher. The inhalation, every cycle of breathing going deeper. The exhalation, for the moment, we use to let go, to relinquish. We exhale and relinquish any tension, from any muscle, emotion, or the mind. We don't need to know how or why. We simply allow it to evaporate from our energy body as we inhale serenity and peace. Exhaling, we let go of efforting and trying. As we inhale ease, spaciousness. Exhaling, we let go of figuring and analyzing. As we inhale clarity and stillness. Exhaling, we let go of time. We let go of the past. We let go of the future. We let go of the present as we allow ourselves to be fully enveloped in the eternal. And as you feel that energy, the eternal frequencies beginning to grow and glow from the inside out, and you can feel it washing over you from the outside in. You begin to notice the breath. The exhalation is now syncing with the inhalation, and both are fanning the internal, eternal flame of our being. And like a star in the middle of our chest, you can feel the radiance beginning to expand, as though all the cells in your body are illuminated like golden glitter. And you can feel that light, the tingles in your toes, the balls of the feet. You can feel it in the arches and heels. And it is rising, soothing, softening, strengthening as the energy rises through the ankles up into the calves and shins, revitalizing, rejuvenating as it moves through your knees, kneecaps, to the hamstrings, thighs. You can feel your legs glowing in luminosity as all density evaporates. You can feel the energy beginning to bubble up in your hips, swirling around your root at the base of your spine. You can feel it blossoming and opening as everything recalibrates and returns to homeostasis. Freedom, rising. You can feel the energy, the light, as luminosity and weightlessness swirling and rising into your sacrum behind your belly button. The lower back and spine tingling with light. The stomach awash and aglow with peace. You can feel the energy making its way up into your pancreas, your middle back and core. Effortless ease, a contagion of goodness, swirling and whirling, weaving in and out of your rib cage as it rises into the heart. And the heart begins to blossom and expand as beauty, joy, peace flow into the shoulder blades, and from the upper chest into the shoulders. You can feel the density is still evaporating. That energy begins to cascade down through your elbows, into your wrists, palms. And you can feel it rising up into the back of your neck, softening the muscles, strengthening the tissues. As your throat center opens, waves of self-love rising into your chin and jawbone, flooding the cheeks and the back of the scalp. Every follicle, every strand of hair flooding with light. And as that energy rises up around the temples and over your brow, you can feel it tingling down the bridge of the nose. And the imagination awakens, attuning to the vibration of creation, the energy of the soul. And the crown on the top of our heads wide open, where you can feel Source, the divine, and the energy of your soul. The entire emotional body, mental body, and physical body, letting go of all thoughts, and bathing in the wordless wisdom of desire, truth, the eternal. And it is here that we allow ourselves to be still, to relax. And with every cycle of breathing, going deeper and higher into the beauty of the divine of our soul. Should the mind wander at any time, simply bring it back to the breath. Going even deeper, rising even higher. our awareness back to our breath, allowing it to expand even more. Soft, gentle, beauty expanding. Inhaling, exhaling, and feeling the freedom, the joy, the beauty, the peace as it continues to expand. I invite you to open to the vibration of gratitude. You may become aware of things you are grateful for, or you may just feel its frequency, its awe. Take a moment in gratitude knowing something wonderful, something eternally blissful is always awaiting us. We open to that holy presence. We take a moment and I invite you to become aware of your entire energy body. Just feel that electromagnetic field of delight around you. From the north pole of your energy body, about 1 meter, 3 or 4 feet above your crown, where your soul star is, your 8th and 9th chakras. To the bottom, the south pole, your 10th chakra, your earth star. That big, beautiful, phosphorescent light. And I invite you to imagine on your next inhalation that you are breathing in the eternal, and it travels down through your soul star, through your crown, through your heart, through your root at the base of your spine, to the south pole of your energy body. The full breath. Inhaling, drawing the breath all the way down through your crown, your central core, your root, to the bottom of your energy field, about 1 meter or so beneath the bottoms of your feet. And feel your entire energy body awash. Awash and aglow with the rejuvenating effervescence of oneness and wholeness, goodness, aligning with our spiritual DNA that has never known anything except purity, wellness, goodness in every way, shape, and form. We take a moment in gratitude knowing that something wonderful is always seeking to lavish and love us, through us, for us, as us. We remember the truth that that which we call life, capital L life, the universe, God, love, Jehovah, Yahweh, whether you call it Elohim or Allah, Adonai, or the Great One, Dios, or God. We open to the indwelling presence, the great remembering that wherever we are, the omnipresence of the divine is. Born from the holy heart, the holy mind, we allow ourselves to remember our true nature, beyond our gender, nationality, race, age, titles, the divine spark, the eternal light. How good it is to know that just by relaxing, being still, we return home without having to go anywhere. And we allow this presence to continue to expand itself, bless itself, know itself, throughout the rest of this day, this week, this year, this life, continuing to evolve and expand in benevolent and beautiful ways. I'm grateful for our time as we come back into a lucid state of divine awareness, allowing it all to be good, And we simply agree to allow it to be in gratitude by saying, and so it is. Amen. And whenever you feel ready, if you haven't already, you can open your eyes or you can stay in the zone if you like to. The lights are going to come up in a moment. And that completes our meditation service. For those of you streaming in, thank you for joining us. We are going to take a short break, for those of you here, for those of you streaming in live, in between our meditation service and our music and message, which is going to begin in about 5 minutes. So for those of you at home, you know where your restroom is if you need it, or you get a cup of tea or something of that nature. For those of you here, you can actually also get a cup of tea outside. You can use the restroom if you go through the doors past the bookstore out into the hall. You'll find the restrooms. And we will be back in a minute or 5.
Good morning, Soul Center.
Good morning.
We have all our social butterflies outside. I guess it's just that kind of day. It's like a spring fun day. Everybody wants to have fun. So we came to Soul Center because Soul Center is fun. I am Jessica Suselik, and I'm the co-founder of Soul Center OC with my mom, Patricia Griffith, our angel in heaven. And we are so happy to see you this morning. And hello, good morning, our online community. Happy to see you too. And if you want to put in the chat where you're from, we can say welcome from wherever you're from next time. So please let us know where you're tuning in from. And we are a member of the Agape Association of Communities. We are an Agape affiliate, which means we bring the teachings of Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith and Agape International Spiritual Center and all truth teachers, to our Sunday mornings. So it's a beautiful time to do this with our spiritual director, Reverend Keith Horwitz. We're so blessed to have you as our teacher. And let's start. Yeah, absolutely. Let's start with our declaration, please. It's in your program, and it's will be coming up on the screen. And let's say it for ourselves, for each other, for the whole world, knowing that it is absolutely true. There is one life, and that life is God. That life is perfect, and that life is my life now. I am here to receive the divine message for me. I am awake, I am tapped in, and I am transformed. You may be seated. And we're so blessed to have Kristen in the house today singing with us. And of course the boys, Jesse and Brian. So grateful for you guys every single week. And
Should we call them the Ministers of Funk?
Sure, Ministers of Funk. I love it. That's great. That sounds really fun. All right, and Birgit, who is our board member, will be doing announcements.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Good to see you all. If you haven't already, please do silence your phones so our service won't be disrupted. I'd like to share with you some events and classes coming up. We do have Reverend Keith's Divine Energy Medicine online class. It's beginning on June the 5th. In the class, you'll work on the subtle energy bodies of your chakras and your human energy field, the 12-strand DNA and soul family. You'll also explore the sacred geometry of the perfect blueprint that is you to heal and to thrive. Using energetic activations, attunements, meditation, and loving prayer, you can expand your divine energy quotient. This class is designed to gently and lovingly allow physical, emotional, mental, and karmic healing. Doesn't that sound great? It'll encourage expansion into joyously living from the energy of your soul. So please do visit our website or our welcome table and do sign up for that. And our website is soulcenteroc.com. Reviewers of the class can receive 50% off, even though there is some new content. So again, if you've taken it before, do not hesitate to take it again. Also, you can visit our beautiful bookshop, Home and Garden, right next to us, and get a copy of the Conscious Parent book, Transforming Ourselves and Empowering Our Children is the title. And that's what inspired the class, that the Inspiring Parenting class that is currently going on. And I hear wonderful things about that. So the book sounds magnificent as well, even if you're not in the class. Do visit, again, our website, soulcenteroc.com, or our wonderful welcome table out front after service to get information about any and all things Soul Center, from the daily affirmative prayer call that Reverend Keith does, to our Tuesday evenings, A Course in Miracles that happens online. We've got social gatherings through our soul circles. We have a weekly newsletter, Facebook community group. We have after-service fellowship, and the last Sunday of the month we have a lovely Munch and Mingle luncheon that you can sign up and participate in. I'd like to welcome up our volunteer leads at this point. We have Colleen Lavoie and Kathy Loquet for a special announcement.
And while we're waiting for them, also Sunday, June 2nd is the heartfelt screening that will be. Oh, that was supposed to be me. Sorry, my fault. Okay, here I am. The Heartfelt Screening will be here. It's an organization, it's a nonprofit that brings in all kinds of heart cardiac machines, and they'll be setting up, and it's they do all kinds of screenings for heart health for ages 5 and up, and it's a donation on the screener's part. You would pay for your own. It's a donation base, but it if you avoid going to the cardiologist to get a referral, but they do really important heart screens for the whole family. So it's more information on the welcome table and online, and it'll be really a beautiful, important gift to yourself. And also, please go visit the Enlightened Kids Village upstairs. It's beautiful, and if you know any young families, bring them. It's really a lot of fun up there. Go check it out upstairs, Suite 240.
And I'll just add to that real quick. I reached out to my primary physician and let them know that this was being offered, this heartfelt screening, and what would be tested. And I have heart disease on both sides of my family history, so they declined. They just said it wasn't necessary. So we will definitely be signing up, because that is one way for us to get a peace of mind, to feel a little more in control. It's fascinating to me how medicine oftentimes isn't as proactive, if you will. They want to treat you after the fact. So, do look into this. I think it's very important. So thank you for bringing that to us. Appreciate it. And so now we will pass it over.
May's volunteer recognition. Bless the month of May. We have 7 service areas on our Soul Center sign-up sheet that you can sign up to serve here at Soul Center. May's honorees have signed up for every one of them and just completely filled every service position. Actually, May's honorees have created an 8th service position at our CERT Center here. It's not on any sign-up sheet. It just happens every single week. They provide all of the supplies, the coffees, the teas, the cups, the lids, the little creamers. They lug the hot water for the tea and the coffee also every single week. I believe their mission is to nourish in all way possible Soul Center's community here. And they do this with hearts and minds that are filled with love, generosity, and kindness.
Okay, let's not forget the hugs. And they are a hugging ministry. If you've ever wondered, does everything matter? It actually does. In addition to that, they're practitioners, and they hold each and every one of us, including those of us streaming in live around the globe, in their hearts and souls and minds, which is all one and the same. And they've been doing this since the beginning of Soul Center. So with a grateful heart, we all know who they are, right? I'll say one and you say the other. Prom.
Mary Jane.
Woo!
I do. I just want to say that I hug all of you because you are just so huggable. Huggable. It's a very selfish thing for me. And I love that you drink my coffee.
I just want to thank everyone for allowing us to do this, because it is a sacred service, and Param is the one that usually makes all the coffee, and I just help carry it. So I want to give her most of the credit. Okay? Thank you.
All right, thank you, everyone. All right, well, I think all that is left to say now is that we're going to join our musicians by joyfully singing our congregational song. So please take it away.
Good morning, Soul Center. Good morning. Woo. Please join along. Use me, oh God, I stand for you. And here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. I used to think that God was the sun, God is the sun, but God's so much more than the earth and the stars and all of creation. God is creator, all in all, needing us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you. And here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Command my hands, what must they do? Command my life, it's here for you. God is the love that heals all creation. God is creator, makes all things anew, and God needs us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do.
Good morning. Wasn't that beautiful? My name is Kathy Lokay, and our reading today is from Living the Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. If we can get it firmly fixed in our mind that principle is never bound by precedent, that the doing of new things in science through new discoveries has always existed as a possibility, and that there was nothing in nature which prohibited larger experiences, we shall no longer be hypnotized by the past. It is possible that most of us go through life more or less hypnotized by what everyone else has believed. We say that the good we desire cannot come to us because we have never experienced it. Or we say the good we desire is too much to expect. Or there's not enough good to go around, or that God does not hear our prayer. Too often we turn over the possibilities of the individual life to the acceptance of the collective group. We should do the exact opposite. We should break down the hypnotic suggestions that bind us and create new avenues in the mind for a fresh approach and a new outlook to the spirit. This is something that every person must do for themselves. We should start with a firm conviction that we are dealing with a power that is not bound. It's not limited. It is not only some power, it is the all power. Let us turn within and pray. So I just breathe in the newness of this day, and in utter gratitude, I am grateful for this beautiful, beautiful morning and this beautiful, beautiful gathering and this now moment that we are experiencing together. I am grateful for community. I am grateful for family, which is one and the same. And I am grateful for the words of Ernest Holmes this morning, that all is made new in this now moment. That it's not just some power, it is the all power, it is the one power, the one presence, the one unconditional love, the one creator of us all, and the creator of every thought and every dream we have ever had, and the dreams that we don't even share with anyone else. That is the creator, that is the universal mind, that is the lover of each and everyone's soul. And I am one with this divine, loving creator that I choose to call my father, mother, known by many names around the globe, all names for love. And as I am one, everyone here, everyone streaming in, love streaming around the globe, everyone that will watch the replay, we are all one in the one with this all power, all things made new. God is, we are. So I bless this service today, knowing it is already blessed, knowing it is the best service ever, because it's for us. I bless our musicians. Their message is the music. I bless God at the controls. I bless Enlightened Kids Village, our next generation of souls evolving. I bless each and every one of us. I bless all the volunteers. I bless Jerome in the bookstore. I bless us knowing this is our moment. All things made new in God. And with a grateful heart, I simply say, and so it is, amen. Okay, now it's time for our agape affirmations. You'll find them coming up on the screen. And let's rise. I'll speak a line and then we'll all repeat them aloud with sincerity and acceptance. I walk in the empowering awareness that I am one with God.
I walk in the empowering awareness that I am one with God.
A whole new vision of infinite possibilities greets me every day.
A whole new vision of infinite possibilities greets me every day.
My body temple vibrates at the high frequency of health and wholeness.
My body temple vibrates at the high frequency of health and wholeness.
Divine ideas cascade in my consciousness and express as all needs met.
Divine ideas cascade in my consciousness and express as all needs met.
A dynamic call of greatness is actively expressing through me.
A dynamic call of greatness is actively expressing through me.
In grace and gratitude, I let it be.
In grace and gratitude I let it be.
And so it is, amen.
And so it is, amen.
You may now be seated. Okay, so for those of you who would like to experience a private individual prayer today, please come to the front by the gong after the service, and you'll be directed to a licensed Soul Center prayer chaplain or practitioner who will pray with you on your behalf in a safe and confidential atmosphere.
I'm excited to share my original song, Come Back to Love, with you this morning. This is the first song I wrote when I first came out to California and started this magical journey.
Hallelujah.
Take some time to realize, have a little faith, it's gonna work out right. You gotta take some time to realize, pleasure and the pain, so it's worth the price. Come back, won't you come back to love. Come on, you say that. If you just know that, do you know that you're more than enough? Do you know that? You gotta take some time to realize, have a little faith, it's gonna work out right. You gotta take some time to realize, pleasure and the pain's always worth the price. How about some guitar? you just come back? Or come back to love? Can we just come back? Or come back to love? Will we just come back? Or come back to love? Ooh, yeah. Woo! Thank you so much.
I need a special sleeve just for my skirt. Thank you.
Kristen Lee in the house. Oh, more love and for looking like a rock star today. We got Jessica Doy, welcome back, and Brian Sheriff. We love you guys. Thank you, Kristen. That was just beautiful. Oh, good morning, Soul Center. Welcome to another day of your bevolution, benevolently evolving. That's all we're going to do, is we're going to evolve into greater good. But you can evolve in a devolving way, or you can evolve in a bevolving way. And we're choosing the latter. That's what we're doing. I'm Reverend Keith. This is Soul Center. Love streamers, good to see you streaming in from around. And those of you who were joining us yesterday on our spring nature and meditation retreat, and those of you who are here on our spring meditation and nature retreat yesterday, which was, I'm gotta say, I'm a little high off of our time where we were praying, we were doing yogic sleep, we were communing with the island fox on Santa Cruz Island. We saw a whale, we saw a humpback whale, and we saw dolphins, and just had a great time yesterday and the day before, and it was beautiful. So thank you for those of you who are streaming in live who were on it. Those of you, good that you got up and made it into service today, because we had a full weekend. It was awesome, and it was it was structured around what we structure here at Soul Center. It was structured around high conversation, living prayer, ceaseless meditation, an opening to the highest and greatest good of our lives, not as a mandate, not as a dictate, not as a dogma, not as a rule, but as a cultivating and bringing out the who you really are. Oh, just to fan the internal flame of your magnificence. That's what we come here to do. Because you might not know this, there's an internal, eternal flame, a light within you that is not your personality, it's not your gender, it's not your age, it's not a diagnosis, it's not your race, it's not your nationality. It is an angelic presence. An angelic presence means you're born in the image and likeness of God. And since we, as Jessica was saying earlier, are part of the Agape International Spiritual Center, the new thought, ageless wisdom teachings that have been around for many centuries now, that say, yes, I am espousing that you have a personal experience of the divine as you, to, through, and as your life. And to not settle for the status quo, to not settle for less, but to actually participate in that conscious evolution so that you can enjoy your life. A continuing of this month, which the theme is praising and raising the bar. As you praise things, not from this kind of dogmatic worship where I've got to praise something of Caesar, but when you praise is to recognize, acknowledge there's something magnificent going on. And when you praise the divine, which praises yourself, and you praise all is good, you beget more good. Just basic, if you just look at the basic law of attraction, if you praise goodness, you expand goodness. And to raise the bar means you're going to step out of limitation. I'm even going to go as far as to say the false positive of good limitation. Sometimes there's the limitation where I'm being constricted by my worries, my doubts, my fears. I'm being constricted by claustrophobia, arachnophobia. I'm being constricted by germophobia, or perhaps fear of heights, and that's constricting me. And then there's this illusion of like, oh, this is about as good as it gets, and so it's good, but it is not as good as it can be should you choose to cultivate that within your beingness. That doesn't mean we don't appreciate what's good. We certainly do. But we also want to understand what it means to go from glory to greater glory. And we don't do it from a judgmental space. We do it from a discerning place. We discern, which means you get to observe what's going on. You get to step out of your carnal life and move into a place where you can observe from your soul. And that is the secret that allows you to transmute and transcend without getting triggered. When you get triggered, somebody pushes one of your buttons and you start getting angry or frustrated or sad or things of that nature, which we don't make bad or wrong, it just slows down the process. It is part of the human experience. We are going to experience those things, but we have to start to become aware that you are the CEO, the Chief Evolutionary Officer of your life, and you have the ability. As a matter of fact, you're using your abilities right now. Everything that is out picturing in your life is happening through you, through your mental concepts, precepts, beliefs of how life is. Right now, as the topic of today is the divine art. Whoops. You know what? I'm on the wrong one. Hold on a second. That was last week. The way of proving and improving your life. You know, a lot of us are out there and we're trying to prove something. We've heard something somewhere, we take it in, and then we start to want to try to prove it. You know, what I'm going to be here today to sell you on is improving. If you look at the word prove and you look at the word improving, I'm is the first word of improving. I'm proving. So if you want to move into I'm proving something, improving something, you have to recognize that part that I'm involved in this. And so we try to prove certain things. Sometimes we're doing it so unconsciously. There might be a diagnosis, there might be a prognosis, there might be a situation or a circumstance, there might be someone in life that is demonstrating something that seems like it's working against me instead of for me, and I might try to prove that that's true. I'm going to prove that so-and-so is such and such. So in order to transcend all of that, it helps to kind of have an idea of the difference between education, being educated, which, you know, when we move through life in the beginning stages of life, we are being educated. And to be educated means that we are being intellectually instructed. We're being given rules and things of that nature, and it has a place. To be instructed about something or to be educated is, oh, I'm being educated that this is a bottle of water. It comes in handy that we can all agree that this is a bottle of water. To learn something, though, is to gain knowledge. To gain knowledge, to learn something means you're going to go beyond just some constrictive idea of something that has been re-espoused, and you're going to allow yourself to understand the secrets of the water. Water is much more than just something that can hydrate our bodies or come down from the rain. If you've ever seen any of the studies of Dr. Masaru Emoto, you would see that there are molecules in the water that hold the vibration of creation depending on what you bring forward or imprint upon it. And since our bodies are made up of more than 70% water, the vibration that he was speaking of is the vibration of sound. So if I'm speaking something or I'm playing music towards something and it's impressing upon the cellular biology of the water or the blood or the molecules of your beingness, it has a memory that is able to hold that. When we're learning something, we're here to gain knowledge, and we're allowing ourselves to move into inspired learning. There's two different ways you can learn. You can learn by experience, or you can learn by inspiration. By experience, you go out, you have an experience, I didn't like that, I'm not going to do that again because that's what I am being educated about this experience. Or you can allow yourself to be like the master teachers that have come before us, whether it is Muhammad or Jesus or Moses, or one of my favorites, George Washington Carver, who say, show me the secrets of whatever it is that you would like to know. Show me the secrets of a loving relationship with so-and-so. Show me the secrets of self-love that allows me to see myself, know myself, and love myself as God knows and loves and sees me. There's this phenomena that happens. When you're young, when kids are young, they are in that inspired state. Generally, somewhere between 0 to 6 years old, kids really have a knack of being in that inspired state of beingness. You might see a kid go out and it's like picking up something and dropping something and doing things that seem maybe nonsensical to us, but what they're doing is they're learning how matter works. They're learning what it's like to pick something up. They're learning what it's like to let something go. It's not just some random thing. They're in knowingness, in a knowingness space, and then all of a sudden we start indoctrinating them into school, where now you have to take information that's factual, and we're going to kind of program it into your psyche, and you're going to be educated about things. And there is a place for that. We all have to kind of understand mathematics. We all have to understand how to read and write, but we don't want to be taught things that aren't true when it comes to ideas and philosophies and the laws and the principles that govern life. When your trauma body, which is where you store the erroneous information of your beliefs, starts to be where you're being educated from, then you're going to start to do what some people do in the world of phenomena. A phenomena being it's something that's taking place. Doesn't matter whether it's real or true or not. It's just these things are unfolding. You can look out into the world and see the phenomena of situations going on in different countries where there might be struggles and strife and war. You might see the phenomena of something called racism or misogyny out in the world. Those things are happening, but they're not the truth of our beingness. There's something more. Much of that, almost all of anything that would come from hatred, comes from something that we were educated about instead of something that we learned. If you were to be still and know that I am, you would know nothing is against you and everything is for you. So you want to take it from an intellectual idea and turn it into a personal experience. And that takes a little moxie. It takes a little bit of getting your head around it, your mind, your body, your emotions, that you can surrender to you. Because where you're going to be learning from is from your soul. Your soul has all the information already. You are born in the image and likeness of God. Therefore, as a microcosmic expression of angelic macrocosmic magnificence, you are revealing from within you that which you are seeking to fulfill in this life. When the outside world or the temporal world is trying to educate you, you can start to digest that information and you'll know it's erroneous because it won't feel good. You have been built with just this dynamic supercomputer that is beyond your wildest dreams. There is so much we can do with our brains, our intelligence, but where are we allowing ourselves to be influenced from? Are we allowing ourselves to be influenced from the temporal world, or are we allowing ourselves... There was a gentleman, he ended up being a pastor. He grew up in kind of an evangelical world, a kind of a right-wing kind of experience of Christianity, and his name, and he's very open about this, was Josh Harris, and he wrote a book called I Kissed Dating Goodbye. And he wrote this book based on some traumatic experiences in life and also some things that he had been educated on. He had been fed information in his upbringing that, you're supposed to get married, there's no such thing as divorce, you can't have premarital sex, you can't even kiss, and all these things that had been indoctrinated and educated into his awareness. Nothing that he ever sat with. And then he had some bad experiences with dating, and then he decided to write a book about it. He wrote the book mostly from his trauma body and was passing it off as information that would be very helpful for other people. And it got published, and it actually did very well. It sold over 1.2 million copies of this book. And a lot of people praised him and thought, oh my God, you helped me. So people that like rules and want to follow a punch list, if you do this, then you will get into heaven after you pass away. If you do all these good things, then you'll make it in. Doesn't matter how you
feel as long as you can check it off your to-do list, you're going to make it in. And all of a sudden, he started getting a barrage of letters from people that were very distraught, and some people who started to communicate with him and tell him how much it had ruined their lives. Couples, where one of the people in the couple started to read the book and decided, oh my goodness, and they started to kind of lean towards these dogmatic teachings, and then they would break up, and all these things. And all of a sudden, this kind of wave of energy that came towards him, he had a kind of a breakdown and a breakthrough where he woke up and he started to realize he wanted to live from an inspired place of being. He actually retracted this book and started to apologize to all the people. There were tens of thousands of people who reached out to him with having problems in their life as a result of the book. Now, one could say, and it is true, we are responsible for our own lives. But when we're looking up to somebody such as a pastor who's giving out information that was educational information instead of inspirational information, that can cause more damage than it causes good. There was some good information in that book, but there was a lot of erroneous information in that book. And he had a come to Jesus moment, as you would call it, where he had to wake up and find out what's going on. And he actually did turn to the publisher to discontinue the printing of that book about several years after it had gone out and done fairly well. And he's been on a crusade ever since to kind of repair the damage. Now, oftentimes what we do in our personal lives on a microcosmic scale is we get information and then we pass it on. The phenomena where I get some information, I'm educated on something, and then I think like now I know about it, and I'm going to pass that information on. To use a silly example, there's, online somebody who posted this thing that said, oh my God, on October 28th, there's going to be the 5th Monday of the month, and this only happens every 562 years, and because of this auspicious event, this is not going to happen, and this is what you got to do. And somebody else they were circulating it around, circulating those memes, trying to get the clickbait going out there. And it's like anybody who knows anything about anything, well, if you take a moment to think about it, knows that a day will repeat itself every 6 years. You take leap year into an account, and you're going to have a 6-year cycle. So every month is going to experience 5 of whatever particular day every 6 years. But some people are like, oh, I've just been educated about this. I'm going to pass around this erroneous information. So to be still and be like, let me just check in and see. You don't want to take educational information at face value. All of the sages, all of the masters, all of the teachers are going to say, be still and know that I am. What are you trying to prove? What you want to try to prove as I'm proving your life is you want to make sure that you're proving wellness. You're proving God. You want to prove all the principles, all the truths back of God. God is wellness, goodness, peace, and joy. If I'm going through a health challenge, I want to prove wellness. I'm going to prove it. I'm going to prove that it's in my spiritual DNA, and I'm going to start to seek and find. I'm going to start to align with the divine idea, and I'm going to allow myself to be impressed upon or inspired. I'm going to be inspired. There's always a way. I've had many things that have gone on in my life where an affliction of some sort, whether it be physical, emotional, or situational, and it's like, what am I going to prove in this? When I had the emotional vampire friend in my life that was kind of sucking me dry, and I wanted to say, you know what, as we were talking about over the weekend, get you behind me. That was a kind of an inside joke, but I'm not going to go into that right now. Meaning that some people might say that as an excuse to get rid of somebody from your life. Now, we all know, you've heard me say it before, there is a time when you need to put something on pause. If somebody is acting in a way that is kind of draining and straining your relationship, you want to put it on pause. But if I'm going to know that nothing is against me and everything's for me, it would only make sense. I can't have everything is for me, nothing is against me, except for all of you over there who have been troubling my life for however many years. The cycle of completion
completion is always flowing itself. The cycle of completion, which is the energy of healing, is always going to have the truth that will set you free. And if you follow the cycle of completion, boom, trauma happens. Am I educated or inspired? If I'm educated, the cycle begins. If I'm inspired, it begins and ends. If I'm educated and I'm going to take on erroneous information, then series of events are going to cycle around and they're going to try to bring me back to the beginning where nothing is against me and everything's for me. We want to become aware that it is your job. Your job is to say, what am I proving and what am I'm proving in my life? You want to make sure that you understand that we want to be like, that's why play, most of us think when kids are young and they're playing around and they're just playing and doing silly things, that that's all they're doing. They're just playing. Actually, what they're doing, because play and pray are on the same vibrational frequency, is they are learning through playing how things work. Then people come along, parents, teachers, whatever, and they say like, oh, this is the way it is. And they start to give them identifiers or definitions about certain things. Now, we just want to be mindful, of course, we're not going to make it wrong. This is a bottle of water, so we want to make sure that we're allowing them to be educated on certain things. But we also want to educate because what ends up happening traditionally in the education system is we start veering away from a personal experience of the divine. And of course, we know there's a separation of church and state, so we're not supposed to be teaching religious things. But that doesn't mean we can't teach mindful things, and that would be probably the job of our parents and our soul family, is to look and say, how does that feel to you, to allow them to keep in that place? Because as we get older, then we start to rely on logic. We're going to logically examine things, and we're going to have the pros and the cons, and we start to weed out the heart. And we know that the heart center is where you feel your connection. The energetic flow of our connection with the divine comes down through the top of your energy field, and it floods your heart, and you, and it's not because your heart solely of its own cognition, it's because the cognition of your soul has made its way into the heart, which is the nexus point of heaven on earth as you. Literally, the sacred geometry of the heart center is the six-pointed Star of David, as above, so below. And that nexus point, the lower energy centers are about the earthly material world, the upper energy centers are about the divine inspirational world, and they meet at the heart center. And so when you allow the heart center to inform the mind, now you're cooking with solar power. Now you're saying, I'm going to participate, and I'm going to transcend the energy and the phenomena of educated awareness. You know, oftentimes we learn something, even in a spiritual class, we might learn something, and then we want to educate people about it. Oftentimes, our urge to educate others about what we've learned is because I need to embody it and understand it myself. When you find yourself, not going to say all the time, but when you want to share the good news and say, you're never going to believe it if you just if you haven't embodied it yet, that impulse is coming from a place of, I would like to embody that in my own beingness so that I can live from that place. The best teacher of disseminating information is going to be when you live it. When you're living it, we all know, when you look out in the world and you see somebody that's actually living from principle, living from truth, they're actually experiencing what they're talking about. And usually, if they're experiencing it and living it from it, they're a person of few words. They're just going to let you through the osmotic exchange. You're going to be like, I don't know what's going on in you, but I like what's going on. And it's because what it's doing energetically is it's awakening within you your own magnificence. When you have a remembering of truth, it feels really good. And I'm going to invite you to feel really good. As we were doing on the retreat over the past couple days, we had made an agreement that we were going to talk only high conversation. We were going to imagine what it's like. This is what I asked them to do on the retreat. Imagine what it's like. You have no problems to solve. There's no situations to fix. There's no challenges to overcome. Imagine you're living purely from the energy of creation. Just create. What are the conversations you're going to be speaking about as you just live There's no gossip about anyone because nothing is against me and everything's for me. So I can't possibly be gossiping about anybody. And we know that spiritual gossip means you just praise people and say how wonderful they are, so you're allowed to do that. But we want to make sure that we understand that what is it like? Imagine, use your imagination for what it was intended to do, to be inspired. The imagination in its proper flow has a directional flow of energy that comes from the soul, from the divine, into your heart, to your mind. It inspires, and then you're experiencing wisdom. Wisdom goes with learning. Learning through inspiration is what we want to do. We want to make sure that we're acclimating to that. Years ago, I remember, I had to check myself on this one. I was driving in the Northeast, and I was with somebody who was kind of old school, and we were driving probably a couple hundred miles, and we had, and if, for those who are familiar with the Northeast, a lot of toll roads and things like that. And this individual is real old school, not real tech savvy, and she had actually taken a map, a paper map, and she had mapped all the things, and we're going to take highway this and I that, because they're all I's over there, and we're going to I this, and we're going to make way, and I know where all the toll roads are, and I want to avoid the toll roads, so we're going to avoid this, and we're going to avoid that, because I don't want to pay any of the toll fees, and then which is going to add like an extra hour to the travel time. And so I was driving with this individual, and I was like, and she was showing me how it was going to be, and I'm like, well, we could just put it in Waze, and I can click on avoid tolls, and we could really, like, you know, and Waze also tells you if there's a cop around, so we can, no. She goes, just want you to hold this, and you're going to read to me from her chicken scratches of how we're going to get to where we're going. And the part I had to check myself on was, because I was like, I really just want to put Waze on, and I really want to put avoid tolls on, because as the journey started, we were going down whatever it was, and we had to transition. And she's like, okay, and we had to pull over for a second, okay, and then off we would go again. So we're slowing down a little bit more because of all those little stops. And so the part of me was just like, are you freaking kidding me? We just turned on Waze, and I wanted to educate her about technology and how good it was. And then I just said, you know what, no. Just be with it. And I wanted to just love on her. I was going to try to push her out of her safety zone by bringing this technology in. And instead, I was like, know what? I'm just going to enjoy this trip no matter what. And we're going to have fun on the way. And we did. We had high conversation. It was glorious. The part of me that thought we needed to use a better way allowed that to evaporate. But I will say, there is the part, because we ended up having this great conversation later about the resistance to the technology, about the resistance to a more efficient, more easy way. And as it turns out, this individual grew up in a very controlling, very constricting, you gotta do things this way, through an educated purview. You're educated to do this. And oftentimes, it digs an energetic groove into your energy field. And when an energetic grooves get built into your energy field by holding on to erroneous information, of lack and limitation, sometimes it's hard to get out of that groove and into something new. The universe is new and fresh all the time. There's never old and stale in the universal presence. So as we allow ourselves, and so after the trip, it was like a win-win. I got to have the win of like, I'm just going to love, and I'm just going to let go of my judgment about that, and I'm going to open up to this fellowship and camaraderie. And then she was like, you know what, I think there's something, because she could feel when I was offering those suggestions, all this tension came over her body. It felt like overwhelming to bust out of the familiar and go into the unfamiliar. You're always going to be asked to go into the unfamiliar with the divine and allow something new and fresh to take place in your life. There is, through the law of associative memory, an inertia that wants to pull you back. Oh, but this is what I know. Pain and suffering is what I know. No, we're going to transcend pain and suffering so that we can, I'm proving something new. I'm going to prove something wonderful. We want to make sure that we understand the energy of curiosity, which is back
of the spiritual teachings. Now, there is this old expression that says curiosity killed the cat, but I want to take you to a place of curiosity thrilled the cat. Because when you allow yourself to be divinely curious, you can open up to a thrilling experience and allow yourself. Now, we all know that the old paradigm expression of curiosity killed the cat was because I'm going to start proving erroneous things. And if I prove erroneous things over and over, I'm going to take myself down a rabbit hole of brokenness and bad things. But if I allow curiosity to be that what thrilled the cat, I'm going to seek and find through inspired ways of being how to explore and expand. Now, when we're going through a challenging time where we feel like, sometimes we feel paralyzed in a particular situation. I'm going through something and I don't even know where to go. We got to lean into, that's what our community is all about. Our community is whether you lean into one of our practitioners or prayer chaplains or lean into a class, lean into something. All of our classes are not about education. None of our classes are about education. All of our classes are about inspiration. We will give you information that can lead you to wisdom as a personal experience in your life. I'm not going to give you a book and then have you memorize all the stuff and regurgitate it back to me or any of the other teachers of our teachings. We're going to say, here's some guidelines, here's some information that might inspire you, and now you have a personal experience. See what it's like to bust out of the shackles of struggle and strife and open into the joy that is inherently coded. The inherent coding of your spiritual DNA is wellness, goodness, prosperity, joy, self-love, beauty, and all good in every way. That is how the universe has programmed everything. And when we were on our retreat yesterday and the day before, how good it was, because we sat in a silent walking meditation where one of the best things you can ever do. The breeze was blowing, the sun was trickling down, the birds were flocking around, the ocean was crashing, and we just got to be in the negative ions of all of that. And that recalibration, it is delicious. That's one way to recalibrate. You can recalibrate through meditation and through prayer, but it means you are going to let go of some educated ideas. And there are some scholars out there that are going to try to educate you. Once upon a time, they were going to educate you that the world was flat. And now we know that the world is round, although there's some still people. If you go into the world of infinite possibilities, I guess it could be flat or it could be round. It's whatever you choose it to be. But it is not constricted to one idea on the temporal plane. So we're going to say yes, and we're going to allow ourselves to allow curiosity. I'm going to invite you to be very curious to prove goodness in your life. And none of us are going to participate in trying to prove those people are this and those people are that and this phenomena is this and this is why I'm constricted and this is why I'm restricted and it was all because of what my parents did and it was all because of when I was betrayed by so-and-so. Not you, not me, not us, not here, not now. We're going to rise up into a greater experience of holy curiosity which activates inspiration, which activates enthusiasm, and what activates your cellular memory at the core of its being, not the trauma body, but the spiritual DNA, where you can feel. And that's why in the Divine Energy Medicine class, it's about can you feel? Now, I was a psychic turnip once upon a time, which means I didn't really feel or see or hear or know anything. And then you start working with the energy, and it's like, oh, wow, oh. And you're starting to see. Sometimes it begins with colors that you're seeing. You get inspired understandings. You be able to differentiate between a thought in my mind and an inspired energy that comes into your awareness. And it's like, that's how we allow, I'm going to be curious of the divine. So we're all agreeing that we're going to only be curious through inspiration, yes?
Yes.
And that we're all going to allow ourselves to prove the divine in every area of our lives, yes?
Yes.
So I'm proving, and then you're going to fill in the blank. It's good to just take one thing.
thing, take one thing you want to prove, and you will see the ripple, the domino effect of that. If you say, I'm going to prove this, I'm going to seek and find it, I'm going to allow it to be good, I'm going to know, as it says in Scripture, it is the glory of God to conceal things, but it is the glory of kings to reveal them. And that means, so kings is representing that higher consciousness of ourselves. So it's kind of like the universe has put out all these beautiful mystical secrets, and I'm going to uncover them. And that's what we're going to do. So the universe has concealed things like, water molecules and DNA and all these things, and we're going to be inspired and reveal these things. So that's what we're saying yes to. Yes? Yes. All right. With that being said, I'm just going to invite you, and I'm just good to see you guys visiting from Malaysia. Trish and Dave, welcome back. I guess you're our bicontinental congregants. We're so happy to have you here. And those of you streaming in, oh, you know what? I forgot. Beginning. Well, you know what? We gotta mix it up sometimes. Keep your understanding. Is there anybody here that's here for the very first time? Oh, well, welcome. If you wouldn't mind, all we're going to do is ask you to stand up and be loved upon. We're just going to extend a blessing. If you don't want to stand up, you don't have to, but if you want to, it would be wonderful. Sometimes somebody comes here for the very first time, we like to offer a short little blessing upon you. So would you like to stand up? Would that be all right? Okay, go ahead. And we're just going to go ahead and we're going to extend our hearts and our hands through our prayers. Those of you who are streaming in live, if this is your first time streaming in live, you can go ahead and stand up as well. When you come in person for the very first time, you'll repeat it so you can have the in-person experience. So go ahead and stand up if you're streaming in live for the very first time. And we're going to say, welcome to Soul Center.
Welcome to Soul Center.
We know who you truly are.
We know who you truly are.
You are a divine angel.
You are a divine angel.
Born in the image and likeness of God.
Born in the image and likeness of God.
We see who you truly are.
We see who you truly are.
We love you.
We love you.
We thank God for you.
Thank God for you.
Welcome to Soul Center.
Welcome to Soul Center.
And love streamers, welcome to Soul Center. All right, so sometimes you gotta do it out of order. All right, we're gonna go into our prayer. I'm gonna invite you to join me as we tune and turn within. Oh, we take a moment. Take a moment to move into an inspired space. How grateful I am to know that there is an intelligence that is always seeking to enthusiate us and inspire us. And we open our hearts, our bodies, our emotions, our minds right here, right now. We move into a benevolent state of vulnerability and availability that we awaken our divine sensorium, the inner eye, the inner ear, the higher mind, and we allow ourselves to remember the truth, the absolute truth, the inherent coded and loaded truth that we know in our core, that there is one omniamorous power back of all life. It is all loving, all knowing, all praising, all raising, all giving, all living, and it only operates through goodness. That is the nature of capital L life. That is the nature of God. That is the nature of Jehovah and Yahweh, Elohim, Adonai, Dios, and Allah. Any other name, the universe, the creator, we open to it and we know wherever I am, its presence is. I am born in the image and likeness, each and every one of us, born from the holy heart, the holy mind, and we're saying, yes, I am choosing to have a personal experience of my divinity. I am proving that where I am, the divine is. I am proving where I am, self-love is, goodness is, prosperity is, wellness is. Right now, I relinquish the ideas of the temporal world, not to get rid of or make bad or wrong, but only so that I may be living from a place of inspiration. How grateful I am to know that each and every one of us is equally coded and loaded with everything we need, all the talents, all the abilities, all the gifts to feel, see, hear, know, understand, participate, and experience, whether it is healing through transmutation or expansion through grace, beauty, and creation. We allow it all to be good. We are choosing today. I shall allow inspiration to guide, direct, unite, and connect, and that everything that I learn comes from the mind of God. We allow it all to be good. We allow it all to be now. We allow it all to be so, grounding it so, accepting it so, by saying, and so I let it be. And so it is. Amen. 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 Ashe. Aho. Mahalo. Shalom. Hotep. And hallelujah. All right, Soul Center. Thank you, and it is time for our contribution. It's time of, if you'd like to invest in our community by investing in the law of circulation, we have our ushers coming forward, and all of the ways that you can participate in donating or contributing to our community. They're going to come up on the screens, including a QR code, an address, and even being able to do it from our website at soulcenteroc.com, all the different ways. And these beautiful angels who stand before you, if you have cash or checks or you want to do it that way, they're going to come forward now, and you can deposit those in the baskets. We also have take this opportunity to give thanks to all of our auto tithers. If it comes into your awareness that you'd like to be on an auto tithe, which just means that whatever particular amount that you would like to have it come recurring, where you don't have to think about it. Maybe you're out of town traveling and you're like, oh, I wanted to donate, but I didn't. It can just be set up through auto tithe, and you can do that from our website. We appreciate all of that, and I'm just going to invite Kristen back up for our next song.
Nice to see everybody's smiling faces from here. It's a great sight.
Your spirit soar. All right. So people get ready. There's a train to come, picking up passengers along the way. Brothers and sisters, we are all united. We are unified. And a unified will stay. That's right. For young and old, raising consciousness on this planet, spreading peace and joy from our soul. Well, my people get ready, there's a train coming. You don't need no baggage just to get on board. All you need is faith to keep those feet so hard. You don't need no ticket, let your spirit soar. All right, come on. How about some keys?
Beautiful. She shoots, she scores. All right. And Rockstar Jessie. Brian, we love you. So good. We have the best here at Soul Center. We got the best children's community. We got the best musicians. We got the best congregation. We got the best love streamers. We love all of you. And we have the best ushers that have come forward. And we're going to bless the offering. I'm going to put you to work, which means we're going to extend our prayer, our hearts, our blessings through our hands. Oh, we take a moment and we remember there was one power and there's one source and there's one supply back of all life, and all it does is generously, without any constriction whatsoever, circulate its goodness. That is the nature of God. That is the nature of life. It circulates, it expands good, whether that good is prosperity, whether that good is joy. And we know there is no limit. And we take a moment as we are born from that holy heart, holy mind, ambassadors of the light, and we know our job is to extend the blessings. We bless this offering. We see our community thriving, and the circulation of that which we call currency or money, we know that each of us individually and collectively is saying, yes, I'm proving prosperity as my life. I'm proving circulation takes us from glory to greater glory. I'm proving only good, only God. We bless this offering as a conduit, angels of the earth. We bless it as good, all needs met here at Soul Center, as we allow everything to thrive in its glory. We bless it as good, and we allow it to be good, and we simply say, Amen. Amen. Thank you, ushers. And before the children come in just a moment, I'm just going to invite you to remember that our practitioners that are wearing the olive sheened shawls and our prayer chaplains that are wearing the blue sheened shawls, if you wouldn't mind standing up. Those of you who are available for prayer after service, you can meet them right here. And love streamers, we're going to have something available for you very soon, so stay posted. They're available, and you can go into a private, safe, and secure place and just say, you know what? Just do a prayer for me. And then just absorb it. It's delicious. And I can guarantee they're all amazing. And with that being said, children's community is coming in.
Yesterday in the Enlightened Kids Village, we talked about the law of vibration and how there is only one vibration. And in the beginning, the Word was God, and that sound created. Okay.
And Maddie has a thought to share about vibration.
Have you ever wondered what created the universe? Vibration was created by God to bring things living and non-living to move, like a dandelion with baby seeds that she cares for. When the dandelion releases her babies, it's like bringing more goodness into the world.
Finally, our craft we made sound shakers. This craft demonstrates how the vibrations that come from inside of us make an internal rhythm, and they affect everything around us. To have a high vibration, we focus on our own internal rhythm and hopefully even create harmony with God and others. Vibrations become creations. Thank you so much. Now we're going to sing for peace.
We're going to do our closing song, and the words are coming up on the screens. They're in your program if you want to sing along. grateful that something wonderful has taken place here today. That we are saying, yes, this is the launching pad for more good, glory to greater glory. I shall allow myself to live the inspired life. I allow myself to glorify more good than ever before. It is from a place of deep gratitude, knowing that each of us is going to move, groove, and behoove even better, even more than ever before, as we allow the divine to shine over us, through us, as us, rising up from within us. We let it be so by saying, and so it is. So it is. Amen. All right, so let your left dreamers. I'll see you on the daily affirmative prayer call tomorrow, 9:30 a.m.